Sanju Verma respond. This is Jawahar Sircar, himself a former secretary to the government of India, saying the Prime Minister has been led by illiterate officers. This is plain ego. On the last day of a senior officer's tenure, you insist summon him to Delhi after having given him an extension for 3 months. I mean, the Prime Minister's ego and Mamta versus Mamta Banerjee cannot be the reason to shift treat a chief secretary like a political football.
Rajdeep, you always say you don't want tutu meme debates. I heard your question, and Mr. Jawahar Sircar very patiently. I will read out, Rajdeep, and I don't want to be interrupted, a tweet put out by Mr. Jawahar Sircar today at 7:50 p.m. He says he is neutral. Mr. Jawahar Sircar, you are anything but neutral, and your visceral hatred for Narendra Modi is evident from this absolutely stupid and juvenile and illiterate tweet of yours. Since you use strong language, I'm sure you wouldn't mind me dishing that out to you. He writes, Jawahar Sircar's tweet, Rajdeep, another defeat for Modi. West Bengal refuses to release Chief Secretary to report to Delhi on last day of his service, only to please Modi's vanity. He retired with self-respect. CM appoints him advisor for COVID control. Time for Modi to do COVID control and not crush federalism. Mr. Jawahar Sircar, let me first educate you. I think you are the illiterate one here. Point number one, who appoints IAS officers who are deputed to states from the central cadre? Have you read Rule 5, Rule 6.1 and Rule 6.2 of the IAS cadre rules that were laid out way back in 1954? I will give you one more very important rule. When there is a difference of opinion between the center and the state with respect to extension, appointment, dismissal, retirement of an IAS or an IPS officer, we have the All India Service Rules of 1969, Rule number 8, which has been upheld by India's courts when insubordination was done in November 2019 by yet another IAS officer.
Ma'am, can I ask you a simple, Sanju Verma ji? I am asking you a simple question. On the 24th of May, the centre agrees to extend the tenure of Allapan Bandyopadhyay by 3 months. What changed between the 24th and the 28th, apart from the fact that the Prime Minister, that Mamta Banerjee kept the Prime Minister waiting for half an hour, which hit the Prime Minister's ego? Let's call a spade a spade. The Prime Minister's ego is hurt. He has every reason to feel hurt. But why target a Chief Secretary for it?
Rajdeep, please, you don't like personal comments, so I wouldn't engage in that kind of banter. But let me answer. I'll take 30 seconds. I told you, I laid out these constitutional rules and the acts, etc. because remember what Mamta Banerjee has said. She has said the Modi government's decision to recall Allapan Bandyopadhyay was illegal and unconstitutional. So Mamta Banerjee, under Article 311 of the Constitution, recalling the Chief Secretary was absolutely a legal and constitutional move, and Modi government has the prerogative. Point number 2, with
it has not happened in 72 years. There must be a reason, no?
Can I please finish? I did not interrupt you. Please, this is an important topic. Again, let me repeat. With respect to appointments, retirements, deferrals, extensions, when there is a conflict between center and state, Rule 8 of All India Service Rules of 1969 says the center's will shall prevail. I want to ask you one question, Rajdeep. If Allapan Bandyopadhyay took an extension, just 30 seconds, he took an extension on 24th May, as you rightfully pointed out. Now, after taking an extension, his term was supposed to expire only by the end of August 23rd, 2021. Pray tell me, when he has been told to report to the ministry, by 31st of May, to the DOPT, and to come and take charge of department relating to personal grievances and pensions, why did he refuse? Why did he take an extension?
Why don't Riju Datta, I'm going to do something. Riju Datta, I'm going to with you.